In less than half an hour, with the power of Rachel's senses, they managed to find an exit leading back to Times Square. Percy led the way into an alley to get a nice echo and whistled for his Pegasus, Blackjack. In no time at all, Blackjack and two of his buddies swooped down from the sky and landed in front of them. They all saddled up except for Rachel, who knew for herself that as a mortal, she couldn't enter Camp Half-Blood. Then Rachel decided to apologize for not explaining things earlier. She told them why she acted uneasy when Pan mentioned her dad and how she got the chauffeur in Colorado to agree to help them. It was because her dad was the owner of a land development company called Dare Enterprises. She mentioned it was a company that bought undeveloped land and used them to make room for ugly subdivisions and shopping centers, all of which just made Rachel feel guilty after seeing Pan's death. "Rachel, look, it's cool," Percy said. "You can't blame yourself for that. Look, Rachel, you were so brave back there, and you did an awesome job leading us through the maze. That's all that I'm going to judge you on. I don't care about whatever your dad does." Her smile came back slowly, but a lot happier. "See you later, Percy Jackson. Go save the world for me, okay? And call me." She walked down the street and disappeared around the corner. Then Percy just noticed Nico still hadn't saddled up. "Nico, aren't you coming?" he asked him. "Oh, just go without me," Nico said. "I don't even want to go back to that stupid camp anyway." "Nico, we're gonna need all the help we can get," said Percy. "Please, Nico?" Annabeth pleaded. "Please?" He shuffled uncomfortably. Then he just said, "Fine, for you, but I'm not staying." When they finally made it back, they told Chiron everything as fast as possible, about Quintus being Daedalus, Kronos rising, and Pan. Then Chiron told them that Kronos' vanguard would still try to break in through Zeus's fist, and the campers had already set up defenses. So they headed down to the area, and Percy saw the biggest military operation he may have ever seen at the camp. Everybody was heavily armed, but this time it was not for Capture the Flag. The Hephaestus cabin had set up traps around the entrance to the Labyrinth. Annabeth went to join her siblings, who set up a command tent at a safer distance and were planning strategies. While they waited, Percy kept thinking about what happened to Luke, but he couldn't hold it in anymore, and told Chiron what he saw. "Merging the divine form in the mortal? I can't see how this could be done without Luke's body turning to ashes," Chiron said, "but perhaps it will limit Kronos' power." "Chiron, if he leads this attack—" "No, my boy. I would sense if he were drawing near. No doubt he planned to. But I believe you inconvenienced him when Nico pulled a boulder on top of him. I could never imagine a child of Hades with such capability." A lump formed in his throat. "I'm sorry, Chiron. I know I should have told you. It's just—" "I understand why you did it, Percy," Chiron said. "You felt responsible. You sought to protect him. But if we are to survive this, Percy, we must trust each other. We must—" He was interrupted by a slight tremor underneath the ground. Everyone stopped what they were doing. Clarice ordered everyone to lock shields. Then, a burst of debris exploded from the labyrinth. Then a whole bunch of monsters popped out all at once. Begador fired the catapults, while Tyson kept reloading, but it still wasn't enough to squish all of them. Then, without warning, Campe shot out from the tunnel. She carried Ariadne's golden string around her waist. Chiron fired his arrows, but Campe's reflexes were so good, she deflected all of them. Then she made one arrow bounce back to Chiron. "Percy, go!" he cried. "Don't worry about me. Go help the others." And so he did. He ran to Annabeth just as Campe readied herself for another strike. "This might be it," she said. "It's been nice having you at my side, seaweed brain." "Ditto," he said. Together, they drew their weapons and charged. But Campe was so fast she smacked their weapons out of their hands. Before they could retrieve them, she pinned them both down to the ground with her claws. No help was coming for them. Everyone else was either down or too busy with their own problems. they knew they were out of options. Then, from their left, something howled. Something big and pitch black slammed into Campe, sending her sideways. It was Mrs. O'Leary, with Daedalus on her back. "That's a good girl," he said. Campe was just about to get up and attack again when, splat, a huge boulder met her face and she crumbled to dust. All that remained of her were 2 green swords and Ariadne's string. In the direction where the boulder came from, to their surprise, was the 100-handed one himself. "Briareus!" Tyson cried. "Yay!" A cheer went up from the campers, but their enemies weren't done yet. One of the Drachni women yelled, "Slay them! Kill them all! Or Kronos will flare us all alive!" "No!" Grover screamed. Then, it happened. Grover's mouth opened up, and a loud sonic scream came out like a screaming banshee. As one, the forces of Kronos dropped their weapons and ran for their lives. One last tremor caused a cave-in which blocked up the labyrinth entrance.